like to welcome you to another edition of Scars to Stars. Scars to Stars is our program in the month of March where we honor the women of Zambia in leadership positions, blazing the trail, making room for other women to come into leadership spaces. We today are recognizing one of the foremost Zambian women in the IT industry, well, with Miss Wangala Muyoyeta. She is probably our first. She has won close to every award that there is to win in that space of IT. As a woman, she's a leading woman in IT as a Zambian woman. And today we celebrate her. She's invited us graciously into our home. And Wangala, I want to thank you for having us today.
You're welcome.
Your life is been so achieving, let me use it that way, that we felt we will be missing out a lot. In the IT space, we have not met anybody if we do not come and celebrate the life you have lived so far and pioneering IT for women in Zambia. Welcome to Scars to Stars.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Scars to Stars is a program, most times people don't know the challenges women go through. And you hear people say it's a man's world. Therefore, women have to work harder, women have to assert themselves to be heard, and all that. And in this month where we celebrate women in leadership, we felt, would you please share a part of your life, your leadership journey? I want to know, who is Wangala? How come we have such a colossus in IT and you hide, you don't want anybody to know? So please tell us, who is Wangala and how has she become this wonderful woman she is?
Yes, okay. So I'm actually the director of IT or Chief Information Officer for a bank in Zambia, Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. So I head the whole IT bank. And how did I get into IT? I got into IT first from school. I loved the sciences and mathematics. I decided, it's a decision you have to make, that this is what I love to do. And I was encouraged, I was fortunate to be encouraged by very supportive parents and a very supportive school system that supported me all the way and encouraged me all the way. And I emerged knowing that I was going to do something in the sciences. What exactly it was not planned. It happened almost by accident that I ended up in IT. Because I'm naturally somebody that loves to learn new things and is curious about how things work, a career in technology is a really good fit for me. Okay. There are days when I feel that...
Curiosity.
Yes. Do they actually pay me to do this?
Okay. That means you exceed.
Yeah.
Your curiosity stretches the boundaries
exactly,
of it.
Because right now technology is stretching frontiers. So I actually ended up in university to study pharmacy,
okay.
Which is a 4-year degree in the UK at the University of Nottingham, a very, very prestigious university. I got a scholarship. And then when I was there in the 80s, they were introducing the BSc in computer science. Universities were starting to introduce BSc in computer science. Because remember, previously, people studied mathematics and then went out the program.
Okay.
So now you could do a BSc in computer science. I saw that, I said, I want to do this. And I went back to my sponsors, and because in the UK degrees are 3 years, and the pharmacy program was 4 years, because it's got a 1-year practical attachment, they were not going to lose any money. So they told me to go ahead. And it was a fit, the skills were a fit for the people they were looking for. Okay. So that's how I made the switch and ended up in computer science. It's been my love. I still love, wake up every day working in IT, doing what I like to do, and contributing in a big way to changing people's lives through the power of technology, because technology is very, very powerful.
A lot of people will be very upset with you when you say IT is your love. And they will be feeling very jealous right now. But something you said to me that struck me is that you had a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And in that scholarship, it throws me back into your childhood, and I'm saying, how were you groomed for you to have? Not so many people get scholarships, and not to any fault of anybody, but scholarships often come to the best in certain things. And reading through your bio and hearing from your colleagues that are proud of you, you went through Roma Girls.
Yes.
Up Roma Girls, by the way, all the Roma Girls. We've had a lot of Roma Girls come through, and I actually want to go and sit with the school and say, what's in your water? What do you give the girls to drink? Why are Roma girls at these levels? But how was your background growing up? How come you ended up, were you from a very privileged background? How come you have this scholarship? Who helped you? What made you love science? I know you have curiosity, but what pushed you into that direction?
Okay, and as an aside, Roma Girls, I actually chair the Ex-Roma Girls Association.
Oh, so you see, you're in the right house. So maybe you're one person I will come back to.
Yeah. Okay, the family I grew up on, my parents. My parents were wise beyond their age, beyond their period that they lived in. My mother, when she went to visit her home, she came back and she said, there is a problem in that house. And you were like, there's a problem in that house? There are no books. What's going to happen to those children? It was a puzzle. We grew up in a house where there was every book, encyclopedia, the classics, every book.
So that's where your curiosity came from?
So we were encouraged to read from a very, very young age. Generally, my mother had a philosophy that there was no need for a child to go to nursery school, and back then, in our generation, it was because if the home system can't give the value system to this child, what hope do you think the school, total strangers, what value system are they going to give to a child?
That's interesting.
So I grew up in that kind of home. My parents, who really encouraged us to be curious and to read a lot.
So your parents were intentional in your upbringing, particularly educationally.
Yes.
They were actively paying attention.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what gave me that curious mind. And to date, my occupation is I read. I still read a lot.
You told me you don't watch television.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm selective. I'll choose what I want to watch, and so I won't subscribe to TV, but I'll mainstream something occasionally off the internet that I would like to watch. Then, of course, I went to Roma Girls, and I think Roma Girls is run by a very, very committed group of Catholic sisters that are determined to impart and empower the girl child. I was fortunate to be on the receiving end of that kind of education. You left school believing you were the best. You were the best.
So they worked on your mindset.
Yes.
And no wonder a lot of Roma girls are heading because they worked on your perception and self-concept.
Yes.
Okay.
You left school believing you're the best, and wherever you're going to go, you're going to be the best. Those of us that took that with us have remained great achievers across those years, and I thank God for that. As a girl child in Africa, in Zambia, to be exposed to that quality of education and that sort of mindset is life-changing. It's a life-changing opportunity.
So for you, parents, the right place to bed a child, and even saying it is not the responsibility of the school, it is my responsibility. Particularly at the age, between 0 and 6 are the most formative age for a child. So your mother basically made sure you were molded before you came into the public space, which is formal school. Okay? And in formal school, through your primary school, you came into secondary school, and Roma girls, the nuns, worked on your personality, your character. So at the home, they worked on character and reading, and in school, they worked on the formation of character that has carried you.
Hard work, seeing things through, commitment, all those things. We had the whole routine around what your contributions were, not just academically, but to the school premises, to the school grounds. Everything that we did had a purpose.
So it was beyond school. You went to school, but school went through you as well.
Yes.
Okay. And what did that do for you? Looking back now, what would you say that did for you beyond just reading a book and passing an exam?
I think one of the things that we learned a lot was working at physical work. The whole school premises at Roma Girls, it was a boarding school then, was maintained. We used to do from 1. I was a little bit, I knew I wanted to do the sciences. I think for me, me and my younger sister is actually a medical doctor.
Okay.
We used to watch the medical dramas on TV. Said elsewhere, the early years of TV, and we loved those shows, and we told ourselves we were going to be medical doctors. So she did become a medical doctor.
Okay.
So going into school, for me, I decided I was going to be a medical doctor. So going to university as well, I was going to be a medical doctor. So my life was sort of like, and then I got the scholarship with ZCCM. And the way I got the scholarship was that I'd applied to go to the University of Zambia. So there's like a whole year. And then I was due to go to the University of Zambia to study medicine in the new year. And then ZCCM then advertised for scholarships to go to your A-levels. And they were starting mid-year, like August, July, August. So I thought, so what am I going to do for the rest of this year? And this is about now, like March. Let me apply, let me go, keep myself busy doing A-levels. And then I'll go to University of Zambia.
Why didn't you want to play and take that gap time to relax?
I played, meaning I had my friends, my girlfriends. We used to have youth programs at church.
Okay.
I remember that after school, we went to our parish priest in McKinney, and we told him we wanted to start a youth program because there was none.
Okay.
And he didn't believe us. He thought we were just going to say these things like, well, and then wander away, and nothing was going to happen. And we went back and we spoke to him again that it's really key that the church has youth programs. And then he came and he spoke to our parents, and remember he spoke to Dad, and Dad told him, look, if she wants to do it, she's going to do it.
Okay.
And so we started church youth activities in our church, which hadn't been done before. And so remember that same year I left. I didn't think too much about it. Years later, when somebody told me that youth program which you guys started is still running, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Really? Really? I could not believe it, but yeah.
So your leadership started from then?
Yeah, that's what interests me. I think post-secondary school, your friends are going out, they're going to party. It was never really my scene.
Really?
And, it just, I didn't even enjoy it. I did do it once, went there.
So today they'll call you a geek, they'll call you
yeah.
a nerd or something.
Well, I get called that, and I say to people, nerds rule the world. Look at Bill Gates.
And Elon Musk.
And Elon Musk.
And you have Amazon, Bezos.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah, I get called that, but I don't mind.
Okay, nerds rule the world.
I don't mind, yeah.
And you go into, you go on scholarship, you were meant to do pharmacy, but you end up doing computer, and you're one of the pioneering sets to do computer in Nottingham.
Yes.
And then you come back to Zambia.
Yes.
What happens? How far are we on the IT platform when you came back?
When I came back, I was coming back to work for ZCCM that sponsored me. Back then, ZCCM was possibly the biggest conglomerate in Zambia and had massive technology power, but mainly mainframe computing. So the nature of mainframe computing is that, for instance, the mainframes are in a center in Kitwe, and all the IT people work around that center. Now, when I came back to Zambia in the early 90s, that was the transition into multi-party democracy and free economy and all that. ZCCM was pretty much being broken apart and being broken down. It was no longer that ZCCM that we'd left. I remember reporting for work, and these people at ZCCM, actually to this date I get shocked that they actually say that to us. There were 2 of us reported for it, because most of our colleagues opted to stay in the UK, as you can imagine. And we came back, and they said to us, why did you come back? You know, almost like, what's wrong with you? And so they said, for me personally, they said to me, they didn't really have a position for me in Kitwe. I had to go and work in Chingola. And I was working from Chingola, or at days when I'd be commuting into Kitwe, but I had like another job. It was not working for me. So I left and I joined Citibank.
How many women were in the IT space when you came back?
Still few. I think generally IT then, IT now has not changed. I would say it's still, the stats still remain possibly 1 in every 10.
1 in 10?
Yeah, I don't know the exact.
Why is that? Is it because it's a boys' club? Is it because the demands of IT way over for women to be there? What do you think?
Yeah, personally, I think it's about perception. Okay. And people have perception that IT is really hard. You have to be a nerd to do IT. You have to be this. It's a perception.
Okay.
Really, it's one of the most exciting careers that you could get into, and all the women that I know that work in IT do extremely, extremely well. It's just that we're too few in number.
Earlier you told me that it is as good as going to do nursing, because the same hours, the same demands you would have in nursing, because a lot of women like to go do nursing, even till now. It's the same demands you would have in IT. So it is perception.
Yeah, okay, it's a perception in the sense that in IT we work long hours, and that's what kills a lot of people.
Okay.
Why do we work long hours in IT? The challenge is that our systems are being used. Right now, the systems are running all the time, and you usually need to book maintenance period in a quiet time, maybe the AMs in the morning, late at night, or a weekend. So you find yourself having to work extremely long hours because of that. So when I was doing that, when I'm in an operational environment where we have to schedule maintenance, we have to run certain processes after hours and all that, people would say, oh, but you're working late, you're knocking off at 5 a.m. in the morning, at 6 in the morning. I always said, look, it's the same with the nursing career. Majority of the nurses are women. They work long hours.
Yes.
They work like 12-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, overnight, 2 weeks non-stop.
So it's a mindset.
So it's a mindset that we need to change. And look, there, as in any career, there's levels in IT. For instance, a 7-year-old can be taught how to program.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it's happening today a lot. In the developed world, in the West, that's happening a lot. In the East, that's happening a lot. So in Africa and the South, we need to get into that. How do you think, therefore, knowing what you know now, how do we get more girls into STEM and get them into sciences? You have the fourth industrial revolution knocking on, the AI world is coming in. Are we ready for it?
We have a lot of work to do.
What do we need to do?
What do we need to do? I'm so glad in Zambia, the STEM schools that are being introduced, and I believe the results are starting to show.
Okay.
I believe this year the girls results, grade 9, grade 12, so we are on the right track. For me personally, when there was a day I was in Brain Matter bookshop, buying books, and there was a parent there with their kids, daughters, and they were buying school books, and I happened to see a grade 9 computer curriculum. I was so disappointed. I flipped through this book and I said to this child, is this what they're teaching you at school? He says, yes. Oh my God. The curriculum it needs a major overhaul. It needs a major overhaul.
Okay.
We need these kids to actually do practical stuff. You can't be telling them what is a keyboard, what is a mouse, what is a hard drive, They need, it needs computers, technology is a practical subject.
But that means they have to have computer labs in every school. They have to be equipped.
Yes.
It means therefore, just like your parents were very intentional about education, the government has to be very intentional about IT.
Yes, we do need to do that as a country. Yes, we do need to do that.
I'm sure they're doing that in schools already.
Look, it started, but there's still room for vast improvement. And we are on that journey now with the STEM schools. I think we just keep going and the numbers will start speaking for us.
How did that challenge you, coming through that space that was a novelty? People were just studying IT. It means you probably were 1 in 10 a woman in the class.
Yes.
Was that a challenge for you?
It's never really been, because what happened for me is that, so after I left Roma Girls, which is an all-girls environment, you leave there feeling on top of the world. I'm going out and I'm going to conquer the world. I got to do my A-levels at Impalembe, sponsored by ZCCM, and the demographics are suddenly, so you're doing pure sciences, maths, physics, chemistry, and inevitably majority will be boys, and back then, boys had technical schools, girls, we didn't have technical schools, so the perceptions that we did disadvantaged, and the perception of the boys then was, you have got no chance here, girls. But you know what, within a very short period of time, we showed that we are up equal to the game.
You took the challenge to the boys.
Yes.
And you ruled.
Yes.
Okay, so you became the best in class?
Yes.
Wow, how did they respond to you?
With Respect in a lot of ways, a lot of competitive spirit stepped in. But what it is that focus on what it is you want. Don't look at what everybody around you is saying. So, like for instance, I was top of the class in chemistry. My friend Agatha was top of the class in maths.
The girls were ruling.
The girls were ruling. And I'll never forget, I always used to get so excited when the boys would be sitting around Agatha and she'd be solving a maths problem for the whole class. Yeah, so that's what we did. But she'd be oblivious to all that, and she was that kind of person. She wouldn't even notice what she's doing. But why? Because for her it was about, I want to do this, not so much I'm staging a show or I'm doing it because I want to show you that I'm equal to the game.
So can we say this? I'm going to take this into gender space, and I'm sure gender should be one of the things you hear every time, particularly you being a leader. It therefore means that the problem is not about boy or girl. The problem is society putting us in constructs of you're a girl, so this, you're a boy, this. But really, boys and girls just relate with it. They take the challenge, they respect you. We heard that talking from Mrs. Mazaba, absolutely wonderful woman. She said when she led the class, the boys will slap her, don't do it again, or she will do it again, but they started respecting her. I remember Kalongo says it got to a point where once they respect you, they feel you're part. And there's no boy, girl, male, female. It is therefore society that is bridging and causing this, which is our gender construct, which is very social. What do you think of that?
I fully agree, and all those people you mentioned are all my ex from my girls.
Oh, really? Okay, I fell into that. Okay.
I try to believe it. I'll give you an example. It starts in the home. I will never forget, I was at my sister's house, and she was hosting some friends over. And she offered, as anybody walks into your house, say, would you like a cup of tea? And the lady said yes, and she turned to her son and said, please make auntie a cup of tea. And this lady said, no, he's a boy. My sister said, no, not in this house. Not in this house. That's not the value.
And that is so good.
Yes. He makes a cup of tea for the visitors like everybody else does.
So sometimes you want to say this is the ideal, and society pushes you back and say, no, put her back in the box. Put him back in the box. So our boys and our girls are all boxed up, and we need to unbox them.
Exactly.
So you unboxed, and you are still unboxing the girl. You are still saying, no, I'm not different. I'm as good, if not better. Test us and say our abilities, and you were coming on top. Again, upper girls. Okay, so how has that been in your career space? You have a long list of awards. Recently, you were just given the Push Award for IT in Zambia. You were given the most influential, 2015, the most influential woman in finance. How did you juggle this and have all these awards? It's with the challenges. You're a mother as well, so how did you put it together?
So I'm a mother. I'm a proud mother of a young lady who is now in medical school at the university.
Very beautiful.
At the University of Stellenbosch, studying medicine. So I'm very, very proud of, very focused on what it is that she wants in life, and I'd like to play the supportive role as a parent. It doesn't come easy, life doesn't come easy, but you've got to create support structures around you that work. You've got to. It's life is going to happen. And so I always tell people that all my life, when my daughter was school going, I drove her to school, from reception, nursery school, all the way to A-levels. I took her to school. We woke up together, we had breakfast together. That way I kept in touch with what was going on, and I understood the school system very well and could contribute. When she was a lot younger, what I then did is that we are at the carpool in my neighborhood, so I would take the kids in the neighborhood to school in the morning. And I'd find like-minded moms. There was one mom, her daughter is now a top swimming scholar in the USA. She actually needed to be to school by like 5, 6 a.m. So they were in another league altogether. But I found moms like that, and what we would then do is that would couple, so the lunchtime pickup to bring the kids home would be brought back by one of the other moms. So these kids have grown up to be best friends, and the families have supported each other. Later on, as my daughter grew up, I always hired a reliable person, paid a reliable person to bring her in after school. And if there were any extracurricular activities, they could take her. But even then, I'd make an effort at the weekends to go see what these activities are. And even on the lunchtime, I'll take time off just to go see what is this piano lessons my daughter is doing, what is this sport. So I got engaged. I found the time to do it. So you've got to strike a balance and create that structure to support yourself.
I see that success gives the woman the ability to give her, because you're talking about piano lessons and all. So success and your achievement gave you the ability to give your daughter good training, upbringing. So women must, because there are other single mothers who probably will say, I have to take care of this, but you created a support structure and you went on achieving, and it gave you the capability, financially and otherwise, to give your daughter the best extracurricular, even education.
Yeah, true. But yes, and my daughter also, from a very, very young age, became very clear about what it is that she would like to do. So, for instance, the music lessons, that was purely her initiative.
Okay.
She said to me, Mommy, anybody who's anybody in life can read music. Even Michelle and Barack Obama can read music. So I don't read music. So I said, then I'm a nobody.
Okay. Because you don't read music.
But so she does this very prestigious course, which is actually offered here locally in Zambia. I didn't know, as an extracurricular. And I used to see kids going down, 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 piano, down, down, down. So one day I walked through and I got to learn about this music academy. And they're actually doing the association of the boards of the Royal School of Music.
Oh, really?
And an examiner from the Royal School of Music actually comes to examine them. Okay. Both practical and being able to read music and all that. So, and also I like that because also they say that musicians are generally very creative people. People who read music are very close. It activates the part of the brain that you don't normally use. So, but I don't know music. I can't play a song as tune, but so she did that, and that was more her thing. And she'll tell me things like she's very hardworking, was a top achiever throughout her school life, and she told me that she's going to go to the top universities. But I just need to guarantee her that I can pay the school fees and give the studying to her. Yeah.
And she was studying for sure. She's fulfilling her dream.
Yes.
You have worked, you came back from the UK, you have worked in Zambia, and then you went to South Africa, and you have worked in close to every major player in South Africa. How was that experience, and how did that contribute to your leadership in the IT space?
I loved living in South Africa from 1997 to 2011. It was literally like living in a journey of history, making history. So I arrived in 1997, 4 years or 3 years after Nelson Mandela has been released from prison.
Oh, good time to do that.
This is a country in major transition. A black woman arrives in a largely male, white-dominated environment. They could not believe it. People like me don't exist as far as they're concerned. So, but again, within a short period of time, you realize that they realize who they're dealing with. So, for instance, one of my first real job in South Africa, I went to work at the Microsoft help desk. Okay. I took that job. It was slightly junior to where I was at, but I took it because it offered you an opportunity to study and certify as a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer for free.
Yes.
All the material is given to you. You don't have to pay for a class. You don't have to pay for an exam. It's all given to you.
That was a good opportunity.
So I went for it. So I was at the help desk and I was a systems engineer doing server support and Windows Server this, that, Exchange this and all that. And I started studying and writing my exams. So at call centers, there are shifts. So I'll start with the morning shift and I'll leave with a 22-hour shift to go home. And they used to, but why are you still doing in the office? I'm studying. They didn't understand. Microsoft, work hard, party hard. Every Friday, drinks on the house, free. Everybody's partying downstairs. I'm picking up my bag. I'm leaving at 22 hours. Oh, she's such a nerd. I start writing my exams. I'm passing 100%. The exam center was like,
who's she?
Who's she?
She's from Mars.
And that was like a 6 months period, people. It didn't take me years and years and years. I just sacrificed 6 months. I walked in Friday evening. I didn't have family then. Literally locked
22
myself.
22 hours.
Yeah, a Friday evening when I knocked off at home until Monday morning when I go forward.
Oh, that's
I'm
the weekend.
Studying. Yeah, I'm studying. 6 months and it was over.
You absolutely were a nerd. You were 100%. You should write a book, 101, How to Be a Nerd.
But 6 months it was over and I got my good paying salary. I was promoted. I had a new car. Right?
Because that's the same, you know, when you read Bill Gates and you hear his story, that's what he was. And he slept on the floor in his office and he did all those things. If you read Elon Musk, it's the same thing today. So, what are we expecting from you next if you continue like this?
I'll tell you what my passion is. My passion is...
We're still going to come back to your South Africa journey.
Yeah. Than what I'm doing now. My passion is I love to teach. I love to skill people up, give them, grow them, mentor them, empower them. So I've been talking this same gap around the skills, IT skills gap. So I've actually started a program. And with everything being online now, we actually train people online.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there a link? Is there a way people watching can access it?
I've got like a mailing group. So we've got a WhatsApp group that's admin post only, where I post the courses that we are going to do. So I've got an introductory course that I give for free. Yeah. So, and you come on a Zoom call with me for about, we run it for about, say it about 4 hours. Okay. So we can do 4 1-hour sessions where I give you insight into the IT skills on demand on the market today. If you have the skill today, you can get a job in Zambia, you can get a job in the SADC region, in Africa, anywhere in the world. The jobs are there, but the skills. So then then you become aware of the IT landscape and the skills that are needed, then I'll take you through the curriculum of the course that you need.
That is so noble.
Yeah.
You do this on a one-on-one or on a group?
I do it in a group. So the introductory, I then do it for free, and then I put a training program for you that now takes you on this journey. Okay. And then for that,
you pay something.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
But please, would you give us that information so that we can put it on, so people can reach you? I think that is something that every woman, everybody, but women in particular, need to get into. Yeah. Because today, going into where we're going into, IT is the most important thing. So let's go back to your South Africa.
Yeah.
So you started at Microsoft, and your weekends for 6 months were locked in. So lockdown started a long time ago for you.
Yeah.
And then you come into, where else did you go?
So then so the help desk really does not challenge you. But then after that, I got exposed now to starting to be a more senior, managing a whole team of field technicians. So what it is, would be supporting various clients across South Africa, across Johannesburg.
Yes.
So I would go to organizations like Reuters, the trading company. I would go to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and these would be like a support call where there's an incident and you're going in to either support. And I had a very, very supportive boss, and you'd actually, whenever there's a crisis or a problem, you call me and say, Mangala, where are you? I'm on Fox Street in downtown Joburg. We need you in Bedford View because there's a customer there, big customer. There's a big technical problem there. The guys have messed up. They've been going there. They haven't solved the problem. And I've told them I'm personally coming there and I'm bringing my top engineer. And we're going to solve the problem. And so I walk into this organization and you are the top engineer? Yeah, okay, sure. All right. Now, what's the problem exactly? Where is your server room? 10-15 minutes later, all the services are restored. Can you check? Yes. Is everything working? Yes. Good. Done. Really? Who are you exactly? We only want you to come back here again. Oh, you guys have been wasting our time. So, and then I would also go on loan.
Please say that again.
Oh, the guys have been wasting our time. They don't know they've been coming here, but they're not solving the problem, you know. Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah. It great sense of fulfillment and a great sense of achievement. There is nothing better than people giving you accolades. I think as human beings we live off that, but it's also that belief that you know you can do it. Like for me, one of the things that I invested that 6 months in certifying in all the technologies I was working with, it made me an expert. No problem you're going to throw at me in the technology space, I was not going to be able to know it. Because even when you write the exams, that's what they're giving you every possible scenario to check that you can actually deal with it. So, and that's why education can be so empowering. Yeah. So
well, you wouldn't have that if you don't focus.
Yeah.
They're competing things. There's parties, there's boys, there's television, there's watching African movies, and there's you reading Microsoft. Wow.
Partying, I party. So after the 6 months study period was over, I joined the Friday night parties at Microsoft.
So delay gratification.
Yeah. And people said, you drink alcohol? I do. But there's a time for everything, people. There's a time for everything, and have a plan in life.
Okay.
Don't just roll with what's the mainstream doing, or everybody's partying, let's all go and party. Everybody is, let's all go and do this. No, have a plan for your life.
So you were not like, what are we doing this Friday? Let's go. You were planned, you were focused, you were intentional. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kasumba's. she's tripping, she's feeling, I can't believe this. Now, let's go into the other places you worked. You worked for the Bears, you worked for
South African Revenue Services.
You worked for, what experiences did you get from those places?
South Provision, really great experiences. I mean, the De Beers group, again, my first job was at Citibank.
Okay.
Yeah, Citibank, as you know.
Talk to us about that.
Okay.
What did Citibank do for you?
Yeah, Citibank, as you know, is synonymous with high performance culture, excellence, top quality service delivery, all the good things you can think in an organization. Citibank brings that to you. So for me, that was my first job. I thank God for that, because those values that were imparted to me from working in an organization at Citibank is what I carry today.
Okay.
So for instance, when I worked as a consultant in South Africa, I'll be assigned to projects that are in a government department. And I working with these same values and efforts that I believe the work is not complete until it's complete. Oh, you Mangala, why are you working so hard? Don't you know this is government? And at 4 o'clock, everybody knocks up. And 16 hours, everybody knocks up. I said, no, I'm not everybody.
So that was your culture, and that culture came from Citibank.
As a young person starting out, once you experience something like that, it builds you up.
So how about a lot of people today that don't have a structured place to work? They wake up when they want, they do. So you are saying, doing a deep dive into that, you are saying that the environment you start off with gives you a work ethic and culture that carries you. So if you don't start right, it shows as you go.
Yeah, it generally shows. Please
talk to that from your experience.
Okay. From my experience, what I find it very sad when I see a young person starting out in a job that's a non-job, where they're not challenged.
What's a job that is a non-job?
Where they're just generally
not challenged,
stretching. They're not stretched. They are pushing paper. They are doing the minimal just to watch the clock tick and then leave. I feel very saddened when I find a young person doing that job, because I feel that they could be damaged for life. Because the day they encounter a real work environment where they need to be productive, where they work for themselves. People, I have tremendous respect for entrepreneurs. People underrate what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And you often find only when a person is forced out of the workplace that they're in the entrepreneurial space and waiting for this to say, oh my God, I didn't work for myself was this hard. But if you'd carried those principles and those ethos and those, it wouldn't be so hard for you.
So is that why most entrepreneurs, also people working for themselves, are not really entrepreneurs? Because they don't have those values.
Exactly. They want to treat it like a job. I'll take time off when I want to. I'll take 2, 3, 4 hours lunch. Friday I'll come in with a hangover, and then like that. And then it builds up. Look, if you're not investing in something, you're not going to get results.
Okay.
1 year, 2 years, when your career is stuck, your business is stuck, you're like, how come I'm not getting anywhere? you haven't made that investment. You've got to build and make the investment if you are expecting to grow. You can't grow out of nothing.
At Citibank, when they demanded, it's a very professional environment, as most multinational successful organizations are. Did you feel that you were being stretched and overstretched? We have a lot of people that you make a demand on them, they don't go back to work. They say they're shouting on me, they're this, they're that. Did you feel that?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Look, I was young, I was in my 20s. I was single. I was not going to go out to go. I said, so if I leave the office now, what am I going to do? Watch TV? I don't think so. That's not really been my thing. Maybe go out, but the other thing about Citibank is that it's such a high performance culture, but we also used to have, the bank would actually sponsor us for social outings.
Yes.
So they supported us like that.
Yes.
So you got that as well. Yes. And also when I'll be running, like in IT and banking, we run what is called end of day processing. So when the bank closes, we run the operations to close off the bank's accounting and reporting systems. Yes. That's end of day. And so that runs every night in the bank. And you have to stay back as IT to do that. When I worked at Citibank, I loved it because they paid for my supper. I could order any food I wanted to eat. You know, they paid for my taxi home. And so I liked it. I liked it. I was around people who, to date, are the high flyers of the industry. And
so this ethics, therefore, it is not whether male or female, it is the culture, the ethics, the hard work that makes you fly high.
Yes.
Not just a male or female.
No.
And in the space of work, there is no male or female. Even though the females work twice as hard to emerge.
Yes, we do.
Was that your experience?
Yes, we do. We have to. We have to work super hard. I think for me, I actually have an experience that I love to tell people. When I came back to Zambia in 2011, I came to head the IT department at Zanaco. Zanaco, as you know, is the biggest commercial bank in Zambia. It's massive. The transaction volumes, the systems, it is just a big thing running all the time. And the people were skeptical about my skills and my ability to actually do that work. So I arrived, I interviewed for the job and selected, and I was appointed. I relocated back to Zambia. I took my office. I was on the first floor in the head office building then. And then on the 13th floor, there was an office that had head of IT tight on the door. So one day I asked, why is this office got the head of IT on the big? When my predecessor had sat in the office where I was sitting, he said, no, the head of IT used to sit here, but over the years the bank felt they needed to be closer to their team, so they moved them to the first floor. But they left their plaque there. Okay, I left it as well. I didn't bother. One day, one of my big butch macho guys who had been so like one of those that really challenges you from I'm a man and you're a woman. I get that all the time.
Okay.
But I don't fall into that trap. People that work for me end up respecting me. He went to the 13th floor, peeled off a plaque. I found him sticking to my door. I said, what are you doing? No, it belongs here.
So he was
Not that day I knew I'd earned the title.
Oh, I see.
Earned the title.
So he recognized you and
me
your
as
work.
the leader.
And said, that is the person.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome coming from such a person.
Yes.
So you have climbed, picking on this, you have climbed and deserved everywhere you have sat.
Yes.
And how have you navigated since 2011 till now? What has your progression been career-wise? Having now receiving these awards, 2015, 2019, just last year, 2020, how has that been? And what do you think people see to give you this recognition?
Okay, so when I came to Zanaco in 2011, Zanaco, as you know, had just been privatized and been bought out by Rabobank. So they were starting a whole new revival of the bank. The IT systems were very old when we got there, and literally outages, service downtime were the order of the day. It was extremely stressful to be in that environment. So we had demanded the banking gave us to modernize our IT. Now, when you're working in banking, banking is a 24/7 by 365. The ATMs has not stopped, the card must not stop, the internet banking must work, the mobile, everything must work. And it must work all the time. So I equate being major, the upgrades that we did, we literally upgraded everything from the hardware platforms to the banking platforms. So for instance, when I got to Zanaco, they were running a version of Oracle, which even Oracle is no longer supported.
Okay.
And you have a problem on your own. Yeah. So I equate it to sort of like performing open heart surgery and the patient is wide awake.
Okay.
Or fixing a jumbo jet in mid-flight.
Okay.
We had our shares of it. It was tough. It wasn't easy.
So you were doing miracles.
Literally, it wasn't easy because we had, when you have an outage in banking, the impact on the customer delivery is unbelievable. But so now you're performing this massive upgrade and you're trying to keep the banks running as well. But hey, we did it, hey? We did it. Okay. We did it. I'm very proud of the journey that we took.
And from Zanaco, where did you go?
So from Zanaco, I went to Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. That's where I'm at now.
Yes.
I joined Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank.
You're the head of IT.
Yes. In December 2017. The history of Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank is that there used to be a bank called Intermarket Bank in Zambia that went under, had liquidity challenges. And now inside this bank were big corporate customers like NAPSA, pensions funds, workers' compensation, Madison. There are hundreds of millions of kwacha locked in this bank. And they went to Bank of Zambia to say, we are willing to be shareholders and refloat this bank so that we don't lose this money. Okay. So those discussions went on for 2016 to 2017 when the project team was informed to start forming this new bank. I was asked to join the project team. And literally my CEO, who's been one of my then mentors, said, I am not, he picked up the phone, called me, said, look, I've been asked to lead the project team to set up this bank. I'm designated to be the CEO. I'm only accepting this job on condition that you come and do IT.
Wow.
Because I said if Mangala comes here, things are going to work. She will do her job. She won't be waiting for somebody to come and tell her what to do. And so I was joining ZICB and the project team. And so sit down with all the stakeholders, government through IDC, all the big shareholders, listen to what their vision is. Bank of Zambia laying down the rule in terms of banking is a heavily regulated industry. Now, when can you open this bank? They say to us open in January 2018. Open in January 2018 with the existing intermarket systems, there was none. I took the head of commercial, because commercial is banking.
Yeah.
I made him sit down. We logged into the intermarket bank's Equinox system. I showed him, but there was nothing. There is nothing here, my guy. If this is what you want to go to market to you, so best we start building the bank from scratch. Sat down, plotted about 15, apart from the core banking system, there are at least 15 different banking systems.
Jonas, have you watched, you don't watch TV, have you heard of The Matrix?
Yes.
Movie? I just feel I'm watching The Matrix right now. I feel you're just in black glasses with the trench coat and you're just doing stuff right now.
When you come to work, that's how I dress.
Okay, please go ahead.
So we have to implement new systems. So I got his buy-in. It's really critical that you always get stakeholder buy-in. Don't go out there and be a hero. Don't go out there and do things people don't understand, don't know, don't want. So stakeholder, so I got him and the rest of the project team to say that we've got to do this. So now it was a question of how long is it going to take us to do it. So, and of course the stakeholders were not happy. Bank of Zambia was not happy. Because it made commitments to the intermarket bank account holders. So we went back and made a very strong case to be given an opportunity to implement modern banking systems. And we made a commitment that would have the bank opened by June 2018, in 6 months.
Oh, fantastic. We
opened in May 2018.
Fantastic.
To quite open to the intermarket bank customers. Yes. The goodwill we received was unbelievable because remember by this time all the customers of the intermarket bank who had less than 200,000 kwacha had an opportunity to take their money and go
Okay.
We made an appeal to them and said, we're opening this bank, stay with us. And they did. 80% of them stayed with us.
That's a lot of trust.
Yeah. We got a lot. It was unbelievable.
And that's because your mentor believed you could deliver.
Yes. So May, we opened the bank. They could not believe it. October 2018, a new bank was born in Zambia and launched with all the modern digital platforms that needs a bank. I've got a great team. My guys are phenomenal. The team is phenomenal. We've got, it's a small team. We are 5 of us and one other young lady. And we've got suppliers that we work with. And what we've done at the bank as well, we've built a lot of capacity because like some of the local suppliers are developed from scratch, like a check clearing system, a EFT, bank transfer system, are local skills in the country. The infrastructure, we use local skills. But it's the most modern bank, the most agile and the most digital bank. Just yesterday, we launched our INIMA platform. So the National Health Insurance Management Scheme, so you can actually pay online using our bank and using our digital platforms. Fantastic. So it's a fully digitized bank.
That's so crucial to our economy.
Yeah.
Even now with the COVID, most things are done online. And one of the disadvantages we've had as Zambians is we can't do anything online. You are very limited in that space. So with that innovation you just launched, that's going to help the industry.
Absolutely.
That is very innovative, and that's pioneering something again. If you look at your life, therefore, as we begin to wrap up this, when you look at your life, what would you say has gotten this woman to where she is? If you were going to give me pillars and say these are the things that make for, regardless of male or female, that has worked for you, what would you say has brought you here?
Okay. What gives me energy, you've got to have energy to do what I do.
And that energy is coming from inside?
It comes from inside, but you also have to so I exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm up by 5 every morning. I'm up by 5, so I run.
Okay.
Yeah, I no longer go to the gym because of COVID restrictions, but I wake up on YouTube. Okay. Internet is a very powerful, YouTube is a powerful media. Okay. You can actually change your skill just by watching YouTube videos. Okay. So I exercise, I work out, that gives me the energy that I need to do what I do. I believe in people. I invest a lot in my colleagues. I think everywhere I worked, if I walked into any of those organizations across the board, even in South Africa, when I was in South Africa, I took my daughter to university a few weeks ago. My friends all want to see me, my ex-colleagues all want to see me, they all want to touch base with me because I always had the philosophy that, particularly doing IT, I tell my colleagues, I spend more time with you guys than I do with my own family. I want to be happy. I want us to be happy. I want us to get along.
Yes.
I want us to solve our problems together. Okay. I want us to be supportive of each other. I want the workplace to be a healthy environment. So, and I think that's one thing I take to the workplace all the time. And even where there's negativity arises, I try my very best to neutralize it and keep things going. And once people have got I think usually people fight because they are bored. There's a sense of scarcity, you know, they feel threatened, but once you create that environment where everybody feels contributing and you value their input, it actually changes the environment completely. And I strive to do that a lot. I strive to pull up all the people that I'm working with. Yeah.
So, energy, team, people skills, having harmony. What else would you say?
What else would I say?
Has worked to bring you where you are?
Yeah, so being curious as well. And the world is changing. Fourth industrial revolution.
Yes.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. The world has changed completely. Why is the world changing? Elon Musk changing industries completely.
Absolutely.
Today they say, as an industry, the person who's going to disrupt you is not necessarily another big corporate entity.
No.
It could be a 15-year-old.
Yes. Somewhere
sitting
creating something.
Creating something. So just be curious. So that's how I say I select what I want. So if there are people that I want to follow, I'll follow them. I'll follow them on Facebook, I'll follow them on LinkedIn, I'll follow them on YouTube. I'll plug my iPad onto the TV and we'll watch what they're talking about. You know, it's very exciting. We live in a very exciting world. Yeah.
What should a girl today be thinking of doing to get to become the next Mandela?
Believe in themselves. They're on the right track.
Okay.
They're on the right track. They believe in themselves, but society is going to tell them they're not worthy. You are not capable. You're not able to. Just stay focused. Stay on the course. The goal is there. I'm going to get it.
What price did you pay to get here?
What price did I pay to get here?
What did you need to give up?
Yeah. Why did you give up to get here? That's an interesting question. Because for me, the benefits by far outweigh
the price.
Outweigh the price. And I do tend to check myself occasionally when I go too far off. So I've got very, very good friends, a very supportive family that keep me in check. They made sure my hair was done.
Okay. All stakeholders.
They called me. So in that sense, I've tried not to veer too far off from the family.
So you have a support group.
Yeah, so I have and whenever I find myself, it's natural because of the long hours I work, the sort of work that I do, I'm traveling, I deliberately step out to start bringing myself closer back to the relationships that matter. Okay. Because ultimately we are what we are because of the relationships that surround ourselves. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the price was worth it.
Yes.
Because
definitely.
you stayed till the end and you got it.
Yeah.
To the girl starting out, and the girl wanting to build a career, you've said, of course, believe in yourself. What prices, what challenges do you think they'll face on the way? I'm trying to give that person watching practical, real life from your experience. Like I say, look out for this hurdle will come, this pothole will come, this is how you navigate when you get there. It won't be the same, but basically success journey is about the same in principle.
I think a lot of people will say, oh, maybe when I get married or when I get in a relationship, my husband, my partner won't be supportive of what I'm doing. So I see a lot of young people sometimes rushing into relationships before they've actually figured out who this person is and who they are. I was married, I'm separated now, divorced. But one of the things I loved about when I was married to my husband is how supportive he was of me. I was doing my MBA. I did my MBA a little bit late in life. It's one of those things that I postponed, until I said, I've got to do this. So I was a mother of 3 children. I was a wife.
Brilliant.
I was working. I was possibly the busiest job that I've ever done in my life. I was the IT operations manager for the government in South Africa, and we're running the busiest shared services center. So it was running like the payroll for the government workers. It was running a centralized financial system for government. So it was busy.
Very busy.
Very, very busy. And I was the IT operations manager. And I decided to go to my MBA. So it was cracking. It was tough.
And you were doing your MBA
and I was
at WITS, which is very demanding.
Yes. I was in class, I think 3 evenings in a week, knocking off at 22 hours. And I was, Saturday morning I was in class as well. And so I'm going to quit. I can't do this anymore. My husband said to me, and I appreciate that he was that supportive to me, he said to me, if you quit now, imagine how you will feel when you meet your classmates who complete the program. See it through. So I had to make adjustments in my life again. So one of the adjustments that I made in my life is that we are Catholics, so we normally go to Mass in the morning for the 10 hours Mass. And so getting 3 children ready, as husband, getting in the car, driving to church. By the time you get into church, you're almost struggling, little people. You know, because you've sworn at them. And you're feeling really bad that this is the mood I'm walking into church. So we changed. We realized that in the Catholic Church, Mass that is celebrated after 18 hours on Saturday evening is a Sunday Mass. So we started going to the evening
Mass.
So we calmly left the house, as we are now, went to mass, prayed, came from mass. I bought the kids takeaway.
Okay. Very happy.
Happy. I studied that Saturday night. I woke up early Sunday morning. I studied, and lunch I cooked up a storm. It worked. I completed my MBA.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I completed my MBA. Just that minor adjustment.
So these are things that we must be ready for. The young woman must be ready for. Be ready to go to swim against the current. Mm-hmm. Not to believe in themselves. Not to give up. Yeah. When the pressure comes, they don't give up. Yeah. Amangala has not given up.
No.
Okay? We would like to come back to you very soon. I would like you to pass this baton in a bigger way than 1 hour, if you like. But we want to see you interact with the younger people and hopefully give them this roadmap as to what has worked, what probably didn't work, what they should look out for. And in saying that, we want to say thank you for having us at home with you. Thank you for taking the journey. And like you have said, the benefits have far outweighed the price you've had to pay. If you didn't pay that price, we wouldn't have a life to celebrate. So we do celebrate you, and we know that many more awards will come. We want to see what will happen in the finance space with you running the show in your Matrix outfit. We're looking forward to that. But most seriously, we just want to celebrate your achievement as a leading woman, a Zambian leading woman, creating space, inspiring other Zambian women to reach the best they can ever be. Thank you for having us in your home. And I want to say to our viewers, thank you for being with us today. We have been talking to Mwangala Muyoyeta. She is a leading woman in the IT space in Zambia. She has been recognized, and up to last year, she was recognized as the most influential woman in IT. She was once the most awarded, the most influential woman in finance in Zambia, and they have recognized her the most influential woman in IT. I want to thank you formally for having us here.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Please keep achieving and keep shining. We will come to you tomorrow again with another wonderful woman sharing her leadership journey and her success experience, the challenges they have faced and the prices they have paid, and the victories that they are celebrating now. You too can take the journey. Just watch another one tomorrow and let's start making decisions. Who is the next person we're going to celebrate on Scars to Stars? Have a beautiful evening. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.